from Kicking Goals, and in this video today I'm going to review my round 22 footy tips, and I'm also going to do my round 23 footy tips. So let's get underway. So this week I only scored a 3 out of 9, so it was a horrible week for me in the footy tips. And the person who's in the lead in my footy tipping comp is Shieldon. He's taken the lead by 1 tip now. And we had 4 people that scored 5 tips, which is the most of the week. And those people are Let's Chat with Nick's Biggest Fan, Cousin Dupree, AFL Heat, and Cardman22. So well done, guys. So the first game for round 23 is going to be between Essendon and Sydney on the Friday night. Essendon are coming off a unlucky 1-point loss after the siren. McAndrew kicked that winning goal after the siren. He kicked 4 for the game, and yeah, it was an unbelievable game to watch. Like, I watched the last 2 minutes of the game, and I'm glad I did as well. And I knew something was going to happen. I predicted it, and yeah, so it was a good win by the Suns. It's their first away win for the year, and Essendon were shell-shocked. And Sydney, well, they came back from 28 points down with 11 minutes to go in the last quarter and against Collingwood, and they choked big-time Collingwood with Errol Gordon kicking a snap-winning goal after he was quiet in the first half with only just a 1 disposal. You know, he came out firing in the second half. Isaac Heaney was brilliant as well. Luke Parker was good. Yeah, there was a few good players for Sydney. So Sydney needed that win, and they will be playing finals after all after that. So if Sydney win this game, they'll guarantee the minor premiers. You know, they had to bounce back after that horrible 112-point loss against Port Adelaide, which they did in a nail-biter. So I'm going to tip Sydney here to win by 15 points. So the next match is between Gold Coast and Melbourne. Gold Coast had a wonderful win after the siren against Essendon, their first away win for the year with McAndrew kicking the goal. And Melbourne, well, they were unlucky against Port Adelaide. It was a really low-scoring affair, and it was raining in that game, so the weather wasn't that great, but yeah, they just couldn't quite get the win, and I say Melbourne's season is pretty much over. So I'm going to tip the Suns here in a close one. I'm going to tip them to win by 8 points. They're just playing for pride now for the rest of this season. Now the third match is between GWS and Fremantle. GWS, they trailed by 30 points at one stage against Brisbane, and they just came back and won the game at the Gabba. Can you believe it? So they are keeping their top 4 chances alive, the Giants. And Fremantle, well, they had an unlucky 11-point loss against Geelong, which would cost them a top 2 spot now, you'd think. Who knows? But since it's at home for GWS, I reckon GWS, they're going to really wanting to win this game to keep their top 2 hopes alive, and I'm going to tip them to win by 17 points. Now, the fourth match is between Collingwood and Brisbane in the grand final rematch. Collingwood were so unlucky to lose by under a kick when they were up by 28 points with 11 minutes to go in the last quarter against Sydney. Like, I watched most of that game, and man, I couldn't believe my eyes when Sydney came back and made them choke. Because I do love it when Collingwood choke. It's football's greatest joke. You know what I mean. And Brisbane, well, they choked a 30-point lead and they let GWS win. Like, Brisbane meant to be a top 2 side, and you can't be dropping games like that at this time of year. Like, they were kicking inaccurately in the first quarter. Like, they led by 30 at quarter time, but after that, GWS just found a way to come back and win. If Brisbane were kicking more accurately in the first quarter, they would have won, you'd reckon. So, this is at the MCG. I'm going to tip Collingwood in a close one. They always playing close games, Collingwood, and I reckon they'll play in another one and they'll win by 4 points. Now, the fifth game is between Port Adelaide and Adelaide. The showdown. Both teams were winners last week. Port Adelaide only just got up by under a kick in wet conditions against the Demons. Butters was good. Travis Boak was good. Dixon played alrightish. Yeah, and with Adelaide, Darcy Fogarty played well. He kicked 5 goals. Ben Keys played well as well. Riley Filful played alright. Adelaide, they had an unexpected win against the Western Bulldogs. They're playing for pride. That was a good win for them. So I'm going to go Port Adelaide because they're trying to finish in the top 2, and I'm going to tip them to win by 25 points. Now, in match number 6 is between St Kilda and Geelong. St Kilda had a comfortable 40-odd point win against Richmond. They were just too good. Paddy Dow was very good for St Kilda. He had 22 touches and a goal. That was his best game for St Kilda yet. Bradley Hill was alright. I didn't watch any of the game, but what I saw in stats, they played well. And with Geelong, they had a good win over Fremantle. They've done it for Jeremy Cameron in his 250th game. In the last quarter, Dangerfield was huge. He basically won them the game. Dangerfield, the captain. Graham Myers was good as well. That was a big win for Geelong. So Geelong are also trying to finish in the top 2 as well. And I reckon I'm going to tip them to win by 37 points. Geelong. Now the 7th match is between the Western Bulldogs and North Melbourne on the Sunday afternoon. The Western Bulldogs had a horrible loss against the Adelaide Crows. I don't know what happened to them on the weekend. They meant to win that game. You can't be losing games like that when you're trying to find a place in the finals. And North Melbourne, they choked a 31-point lead against West Coast. Can you believe that? That is unheard of. You can't be choking games like that at North Melbourne. I know you're not going to play in finals, but don't you want to play for pride? That's just unbelievable, You let West Coast kick the last 3 goals in the last 2 minutes to win the game. Never seen that before. Very often. This should be an easy win for the Bulldogs. I'm going to tip them to win by 27 points. So the second last match of the week is between Hawthorn and Richmond at the MCG. Hawthorn had a thrashing 73-point win over Carlton. They played so well and they're in the top 8 now. And they're really being a big threat now to the rest of the competition. Like, they've got almost the youngest side in the competition, almost, and they've been finding ways to win unexpected games this year. Sam Mitchell has done a brilliant job for Hawthorn, and if I was a Hawthorn supporter right now, I would be unbelievably really happy with them. like, I'm still happy for Hawthorn, regardless. Like, they can actually play finals this year. If they win their last two games, they'll definitely play finals. And they've got two winnable games left. And Richmond, well, they had another loss against St Kilda. It was expected. They played alright for 2.5 quarters, Richmond, but they just couldn't win. So I'm going to tip Hawthorn here, so they should win. I'm going to tip them to win by 26 points. Now the final match is between West Coast and Carlton on the Sunday twilight. West Coast, they had a impressive win over North Melbourne in Tasmania. They came from 31 points down with a match-winning goal to Oscar Allen in the last 30 seconds. It was a great goal. I saw it on the replay because I didn't watch the match, but yeah, it was unreal, and he kicked 5 goals for the game as well, Oscar Allen. And with Carlton, well, it was a really shocking weekend for them. It was their 160th year anniversary, and it was a bad way to celebrate it because Carlton lost by 73 points. And as a Carlton supporter, I just couldn't believe we played so bad. It was the worst game I've seen in a few years by Carlton, and it doesn't help when we had 6 injuries to add to the list. You know, Charlie Curnow, Harry McKay, Jordan Boyd, Lockie Fogarty, Jack Martin, and Adam Sard. It's just unbelievable. I don't know if any of them will be playing this week. We'll have to wait and see. We might have to bring in some of our VFL players in, if that's the case. You know, because we're running out of options. We've got other players out injured too, and it's costing our season. But I don't know, with West Coast, I don't think they'll keep winning. I just think last week's game will just be maybe their last win for the season. Who knows, but I might be wrong. But I'm going to tip Carlton to win by 40 points. So anyway, guys, thank you all for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Catch you guys.